Colorado in particular is seeing significant revenue increases because they've legalized the process. They've also seen a significant decline in areas of crime that were associated with illegal drug trade. And so for those reasons, at a minimum, a person like me has to stop via common sense and say, well, I may have started here, I'm allowed to grow and evolve to here, which I've done on a number of my public policies over the years. So that's nothing new for me. What is new is that the information is beginning to, the data on who supports and who doesn't support recreational marijuana usage has changed and evolved dramatically within a 3 to 2 year period of time.
Drug abuse studies done in this country with people who have a minimum use of cannabis, of using cannabis 5,000 times and are as young as 30. Any effects on the brain of cannabis are undetectable after 30 days of use using our most sensitive technology for brain scans. Quality control issues of cannabis. This is what we're going to have to worry about when cannabis becomes legal here, whether recreational or medicinally. And the issue of quality control goes back to ancient times. Ancient Assyrians left a legacy of 10,000 clay tablets, among which contain very specific instructions for preparing cannabis for religious and other purposes. The ancient Egyptians, our oldest medical text in existence, contains specific instructions for preparing cannabis as a medicine. Also the Bible, the Old Testament, or as I grew up knowing it, the Torah, Exodus 30:23, contains a recipe for preparing cannabis in a form of a holy anointing oil. It contains cinnamon, myrrh, and 250 shekels of cannabis, which is roughly 6 pounds of cannabis. We can argue later if that's enough for personal use. So here we have the cannabis monograph was published this year. I'm an author of this historical document. What is a cannabis monograph? It's a guideline for how regulators can effectively regulate botanical medicines. Who uses monographs? FDA. FDA uses American Herbal Pharmacopoeia monographs. The USDA. The USDA uses American Herbal Pharmacopoeia monographs. Who else uses it? The European Union. The FDA, the USDA, the European Union have all written papers citing American Herbal Pharmacopoeia monographs. This is a guideline to help you determine safety matrices, dosing guidelines, how to grow it, how to identify it in the field. And I'd like to draw your attention to the picture here on the right. This is the grow, the government's grow at the University of Mississippi, where they ship approximately 300 pre-rolled cannabis cigarettes to the surviving patients of the 1960s IND program every month. There's 1 pound of pre-rolled prepared cannabis guaranteed of a certain percentage every month. And you'll notice that there is a 15-foot tall barbed wire fence, a guard tower, and 24-hour surveillance, so none of the marijuana plants escape. So like I said, FDA, USDA, European Union all use monographs as identity tests, purity metrics, and analytical methods. The application of these guidelines is a patient-focused certification program. I've traveled around the country for the last 6 months, certifying dispensaries, cultivation centers, manufacturing centers, and laboratories that analyze cannabis. We go through and audit them. So I'm out there implementing actual laws that legislators pass in these business operations. Yeah, I think that's about covers it. I'd like to draw your attention to these resources. At this website, you can get the recommendations for regulators on how to best business practices for cannabis laboratories, cultivation sites, and dispensaries, as well as manufacturers. You can find the monograph at this site, verbal.ahp.net. Safe Access now has all the information about the voluntary certification program that is becoming mandatory in Nevada and Washington. So they're using the monograph, this document I have here, if you'd like to see it, to actually regulate cannabis in states.
Great. Thank you very much.